Now let us talk about relation between potential energy and forces. Till now we have studied that there are some forces in conservative field, and we know that there are some whenever we are talking about potential energy, that means there is a conservative field. So in this video we are going to find out the direct relation between potential energy and these conservative forces so that they can be used in solving various numericals. So first of all, whenever we are talking about potential energy, that means the forces that are acting are conservative forces, and we know that the work done is equal to the change in potential energy. So here we are assuming a conservative field. This is a conservative field, and we have divided this field into two parts. And let us say this is part A and this is part B. And any potential, whatever potential energy is there at point A, let it be UA, and at point B, let it be UB. And let us assume that UA is greater than UB. That means point A is at higher potential and point B is at lower potential. Now whenever this kind of field is there, and when one point is higher potential energy than the other, then the body at this higher point will automatically start moving towards the body at lower potential energy, even when no external force is applied. Now here no external force is applied, but still the body at A will start traveling towards point B. Why this happens is that it happens because any body in the universe try to achieve a state of lowest energy, because it is the most stable state. The lowest energy state is the most stable state. So I'll write a note here, and you make sure that you always keep this in mind. This is true for any type of body in the entire universe. So we'll write every body in universe tries to achieve a state of lower energy. Whenever a state of lower energy is available, the body will go towards that lower energy state. Why? Because low energy means more stability. So a lower energy state is a stable state. So make sure that you keep in mind. So therefore, since UB is at lower potential energy, so area B is at better stability than area A. So the particle, whatever particle is there, it will try to move towards B particle. Now this can also be understood by an example of our usual example of a ball falling from a height towards the ground. So let us say that initially the ball was at height X, and it was at height Y. Now the ball is not thrown, it is dropping. So that means we are not applying any external force. Whatever forces are applied here, they are inside the field. So this will be a conservative field, because we have already discussed that gravitation field is conservative in nature. So that means there will be a change in potential energy, and even though no external force is applied, the ball will automatically start moving towards the earth. Why is it start moving towards the earth? Because as it will go down, the potential energy will start decreasing. At this point, at point Y, where the height from earth is 0, the potential energy will become equal to 0, because height is 0. At this point it was at some height, so there will be some value mgh. So X is at higher potential, Y is at lower potential. That is why ball starts falling from X to Y. So gravitation field is an example of conservative field. So thus a force will be applied, and we can say if we find the work done of this, then the work done will be equal to U. In this case it will be ux minus uy, because X is at higher potential. In this case, if we write the general formula, then it will be equal to ua minus ub. So this will be the total work done. The change in potential energy will be ua minus ub. Now this can also be written, we know that the formula for work done is also in the form of integration. So the same thing we can write, that work done should be equal to f dot dx, where dx is a displacement and the body is going from A to B. So initial limit will be A and the final limit will be B. So this will be equal to minus change in potential energy. Why is there minus sign? Because energy is decreasing. When the body is going from A to B, the energy is decreasing. That is why there will be a minus sign if we integrate it from A to B. Now let us apply this same formula on another example. Instead of a falling body, let us take another example that there is on a horizontal floor in positive x direction, there is a point A and a point B, and a body is moving from A to B. Now during the displacement, let us say that since it is a conservative field, let us say that the change in potential energy, it will be a function of x, because the body is moving towards x, so we can write that potential energy will be a function of x. If it were moving in upward direction, we would have said that potential energy is a function of y, but here it is a function of x. And let us say a force is continuously applied, then at every point the energy will change, the u will change at every point as the body is going from A to B. So let us say that at any point the displacement is x, and after that a small displacement, a very small displacement dx is done, so that the final position is x plus dx. Now in displacing the body by dx, let the decrease in energy be du. Let du be the decrease in energy in pushing the body from x to x plus dx. Then we can say that minus du equals to f dot dx, minus sign because of this, the energy is decreasing, so there will be a decrease. So minus du equals to f dot dx, or we can say that du equals to minus f dx, or from here we can say that f equals to minus du by dx. So this will be a relation between force and potential energy, and it is a very useful relation. It will be used in many numericals. If we talk about only this example, then we know that this force is applied in the x direction. So if we write its vector form, if we write the vector form for this particular condition, then it will be f equals to minus du by dx I cap, because the body is moving in x direction. The negative sign is showing that the force of the field is always acting in direction where the potential energy will decrease. So it is the force that is generated in the field itself, like this. No external force, it is generated inside the field, and it will always carry negative sign, because there will be a decrease in energy. If suppose an external force is applied which is increasing the energy, then in that case the relation will be same, but the minus sign will be removed. So this is for one dimension. The similar thing we can apply for for three-dimensional space. So let us say that let us do it on next page. So let us say that instead of one dimension we have a free space. Free space means it is a three-dimensional space. In a three-dimensional space we have x, y and z axis. So the same force vector can be given as fx I cap plus fy j cap plus fz k cap. And if we use this relation here in this, then it will be minus du by dx I cap minus du by dy j cap minus du by dz k cap. And if we take the minus sign common, then it will be like this. Now this particular relation, in this relation we use an operator, a mathematical operator, and this entire equation can be denoted by minus del u. This is an opposite delta, it is an inverted delta, it is called del or del operator. What it means is the del operator, it is a gradient operator You will study this in detail when you will do in maths. Right now I'll just give a short description of this gradient operator del can be written as, so this is the value of del operator. So this du by dx, now what this means is that we are partially differentiating this entire function. We are not completely differentiating, we are partially. Now here if we talk about this, only this du by dx, now whatever is the function of f, since it is in free space, it might have x variable, it might have y variable and z variable, or it will have all three variables. But when we are calculating du by dx, then only x will be differentiated and y and z will be treated as constant. Similarly, when we are doing du by dy, only y will be differentiated, x and z will be constant. And similarly, when we are doing du by dz, only z will be differentiated, x and y will be treated as a constant. So this is called partial differentiation. It is not complete differentiation, it is partial differentiation. We do it when we have more than one variables in an equation. So whenever there is more than one variable, then we have to make sure that we have to understand that with respect to which variable we are differentiating the function. So now this, moving ahead in this, we can say that this f, if it is in free space, then it will be given as minus del u. If it is in one dimension, it will be given by minus du by dx. In free space, the only change that is happening is the partial derivative del operator, which will be this value. So we'll do an example so that it becomes clear what a del operator is. Let us say that the potential energy in a particular field is given by a function 4x cube minus 3y square z. Suppose this is a function, so immediately you can see that this function is not one dimensional, it is in three space, because it has x, y and z, all three coordinates, it has all three variables, so it is in free space and we have to find the force. So we are going to use this equation. So if we write it in this form, I'll write this again so that you know what I am doing in each step. So this is the formula that we are going to use. Now when we put u here, right now forget about du and forget about dy and dz, we are putting u, this entire function, here, and we are differentiating with respect to x. Now obviously you cannot differentiate y and z with respect to x. So that means in this entire equation y and z will be treated as constant and only differentiation will be of x. So if you differentiate this function, it will be 12 x square for the first term, and in second term there is no x, so this entire term is a constant, so its differentiation will be 0. I am not writing it here, the simple I cap. Now for this, here we are differentiating with respect to y, so that means x and z will be treated as constant. Now if we put this equation, if we put this value here, then 4x cube does not have any y variable, so that means this entire term becomes a constant and its value will be, its differentiation will be 0, so I am not writing it here. 3y square z, this can be differentiated because it has y. So when we are differentiating, then it will be equal to minus 6yz. Now we are going to apply product rule. If you remember product rule, when we are differentiating duv with respect, then it will be u dv by dx plus v du by dx. So here minus 3y square z, when it is differentiated with respect to y, then it will be z, we can take constant, or minus z, and 3y square dy plus 3y square can be taken as constant, minus 3y square, and dz by dy. Now this term, this will be 0, this term will be 6yz, minus 6yz, so that's what I have written here. This term will be equal to 0 because we are differentiating dz with respect to dy. Similarly, if we differentiate this with respect to z, then again first term will be 0. Second term, we are going to apply same product rule and the answer will be 3y square. So here it is j cap, here it will be k cap. So this will be the answer. And if you multiply this del operator, this minus sign that is outside, then it will be minus 12x square I cap plus 6yz j cap plus 3y square k cap. So obviously here we are assuming that there is a minus sign outside, so that means the potential energy is decreasing, but this is just an assumption. In this question it is not written anywhere that the potential energy is decreasing. So either you can do it by minus, by assuming that the potential energy is decreasing, or we can remove this minus sign from outside, we can take this sign as positive, and then it will not matter whether the potential energy is increasing or decreasing, the sign, this minus sign, can be put accordingly. So if you remove the minus sign, then this will be your answer. If you put this minus sign by assuming that potential energy is decreasing, then this will be your final answer. So this is how del operator works, and these two equations you are going to use in solving various problems.